is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know,
if you'd like to.
Friday,
Hawaiian shirt.
we're Hawaiian shirt and jeans. Welcome to Barn Burner on a Friday. Pinder,
Yo.
Warner,
Moi.
and Boomer here on the Friday edition. It's just everybody's in a good mood. We were singing. We were doing a little sing-along before the show got started.
Day,
California
on a winter's
dreaming,
day,
California
California dreaming,
and the skies are gray.
I've been out here for a while.
Is that the Mamas and the Papas?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Don't feel me.
It's Dirk Bentley.
Great
That's right.
song.
Hey, Dean, that's Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I love Bruce
Awesome.
Springsteen. Yeah, good stuff. You know what? Maybe we're all just in a good mood because I think we could probably all agree it never feels better than when you go and kick the shit out of Buffalo. Right? Am I right? You go into Buffalo and lay the boots
It's
to
like
Buffalo.
playing that whack-a-mole. You just
Whack-a-mole, just clunk.
Bam,
Yeah.
bam.
Rhett's a turncoat, Dean. Rhett was wearing a Sabres alumni golf shirt in last night's post-game show.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had my hair done too.
He did have his hair did. It looks like he broke out a razor too. I forget what those things look like, but apparently they're still around. He was he was on the alumni show and shine circuit. He had the golf tee, the gel in the hair, the shaved face, the firm handshake. Said he didn't even eat the free food in the suites. Ooh.
I was mad at myself about it too. They've got really good chicken fingers and a great dip, and they've also got chips and dip with a fantastic French onion dip. It's wonderful. And then there was this really unique pulled pork, kind of sweet and spicy nacho tray. Oh, get that.
And did your feet fall off? How did you not get over to eat that? That's right up your alley.
It's right up my alley, but I'm visiting the suite. I don't know these people. I felt awkward spilling on my shirt.
Rhett, I've been with you when you have visited suites. You go in and you dump the salsa into the cheese sauce. You're the first one in. I mean, I'm not buying it.
That's a home game though, Dean. That's at the Dome.
I was
different.
I was on the clock. I was an employee.
I see. Now, did you bang the drum?
Little drummer boy, Dean. I found my calling. I'm into the music industry. You heard me singing. I got a new set of drums at home. I'm like Will Ferrell now, just mixing fucking jams.
You're just DJing parties at USC with 18-year-olds?
Yeah,
that sounds boring.
Yeah, I can see it. And your kids would be very thrilled to have you at their party.
Much
like Will's kids. Yeah.
I drive my oldest and his buddy to school every day. They don't say nothing. I coach them and I drive them to school. Not a word comes out of their mouth. How are you? Oh, good. That's it.
Yeah.
And then it's silence, and then it's get the F out.
Yeah, I took
when the neighbor when my buddy's dad, or when the kid that I drive, when his dad drives, he said it's a party. They're just giving her.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe you set the tone and the mood for the whole thing.
I do.
They're just probably a little what is it, like star?
Yeah, they're in
stage fright. What is it like when you see a star, you get all like,
oh yeah,
big music,
starstruck,
big music star. That's what happens.
Or they get in there, it's like, just don't. He's going to start swearing again. Just don't say anything that'll set him off.
Don't interrupt
sing Christmas carols.
Joe Rogan podcasts. You're gonna piss him off.
I took my
I
kid.
gave my kid shit because I got lost on the first days.
You gave him
Why
shit
did you
because
tell me to turn? What the hell?
Yeah, clearly his fault. Yeah, I'm driving.
buddy.
Can you at least figure out where we're going?
You're the
You didn't know we were
navigator.
supposed to turn.
Yeah, I listened to my kid, his nose whistling last night for about 20 minutes, taking him to his nose breather, and it's and eventually I'm like, can you not hear that? Like, are you
know what it is?
Can you hear yourself? Can you not hear your nose? Like, what is going on?
You got to send him to the hearing loss clinic.
Maybe he can't hear it. Either that, or he's got to see Dr. J
right
about
there.
his breathing.
Hearing loss clinic, right
Either
there.
way,
Look at that.
we've got solutions.
That's what you need right there. Anyway, he couldn't hear it. I sure could. So
He couldn't hear it.
It's not annoying at all.
It is very boomer
No.
though. He wouldn't say anything for 20 minutes, but then when he does, it's a short fuse. Like, are you not hearing this?
Yeah,
Like,
he just kind of sit there
10 minutes ago.
Just kind of glance over, leave it.
That's classic you.
Can you not hear that? Like, Jesus, breathe out your mouth or something. God.
The nose
Sorry,
whistle is so
Dad.
bad.
All right, let's get to it.
Sorry.
Flames looked good. Sabres didn't look very good at all. 4-3 victory.
They got
Boys
screwed
got
out of
Dumont
a Mike Smith special
disagrees.
too.
JP Dumont absolutely disagrees with you. He said
He
it was
does,
a
eh?
sloppy game from start to finish, bad penalties, and dumb
that's-
hockey.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
they-
JP Dumont sleeps in his Sabres jammies, so that's not
No, he's a
totally
Nashville guy.
surprising.
He's coaching the Preds.
Oh, yeah. Nashville. Was it 46 seconds in? It was 1-0.
Yeah. You would always try to pass that. That's the
I
most beautiful
know.
part.
I said to Pinder last night, I said, let's be honest. It was a win, and it was a nice win, and we got out of Buffalo, doing what we needed to do. The goalie may have handed you 2 points.
Goalie was not great, and he allowed a 160 footer that they didn't count because they didn't have the
Yeah, they didn't have the right angle. Yeah. Is that the Devin Levi experience that we saw last night? Is that what
I do
Sabres
believe it
fans are
is.
accustomed to?
Yeah, I
Then,
think
then he's not your guy. You need a
Pekka
goalie.
Luukkonen. That's what you need. Well, and we were saying it last night. Like you're a great goalie prospect, but until you actually turn into an NHL goalie, you're still just a goalie prospect.
You're just a prospect. Yeah.
you're just a kid out of college. Sorry.
yeah, like fresh
I
out
love
of
you.
BU. Like,
How about you give him
So
someone
fresh.
to help him?
Well,
teach him the
Craig
way.
Anderson was in the building. They should have thrown him in. He'd have done a better job.
We've seen enough Craig
wouldn't have let one in
Anderson.
from 160.
No
Why
more
not?
Craig Anderson.
What was he doing on that play? If you didn't see it last night, it's a shot from.
It looked like Kipper drunk in St. Louis.
Oh my god.
Staring at the fucking rafters.
He's.
Pardon my language.
I don't know what he's doing. He's standing to the right side of his net, and he had to have been. He couldn't have been paying attention and looking because as he falls down, he's over to one side of the net and he's
Hey.
off balance.
He's in the NHL. He's checking things out. He's not seen this before.
Mm,
Come
that's right.
on.
Who's that girl in 109 that keeps
Yes.
pointing at me and then pointing to her pants? What's that about?
George, get that girl here. Take this note
Yeah.
over to the section 102, row 12.
But maybe that's what it was. See, if we were in the room,
He's
we'd ask
pointing.
him.
He's like, Georgie, no, over there.
Yeah,
The
no,
other
no.
one, not that one.
No,
No,
not
I don't
her.
like brunettes.
I
No.
already sent that girl one.
Yeah, pretty sure the puck was in. But to your point, somehow here we are in 2023. They don't have an angle that shows it. But
Why can't they put a
So here
chip
it
in
is
the
here.
puck? I know
Look at
damn
how
well
far
they
back
could.
that is.
what's he doing?
Why
Like,
couldn't
what-
they put? Okay, but honestly, what's
There
the
should be a chip.
downside to having a chip in the puck?
I see. I think it's the same thing when I watch the NFL, and it's like there's a scrum like a meter high with 18 bodies in it, and the ball could be anywhere, and they're like marking it like they have a clue. It's like put a chip in the damn ball.
Well,
You're a $1 billion entity every
Yes.
week. Let's go.
What's the downside? Because they lose control.
Like, are you telling me that technology doesn't exist? Like we watch the tennis majors, we see the
Yes.
little
Mhm.
zoom in on the lasers under the court, non-technology stuff. Like it can't be that hard, Gary.
Is it because the ice comes in and out?
No,
I'm
I mean-
actually serious.
Why?
No,
if
it
you
would-
just put something in the post, the inside of the crossbar post, like come on.
Yeah,
Should be able to do
my
this.
guess is just it would be the durability of the pucks. Maybe I don't know. But to your
we
point,
definitely don't
it's-
know, but it doesn't feel like they're trying very hard.
So anyway, I mean that was one point. Flames also breakaway for Michael Backlund, didn't get a shot away.
Two of them.
Breakaway for Elias Lindholm and put it right in the kid's glove. Flames.
Kelly already thought that was a great save. God bless you, Kelly. So
Yeah.
positive. What a save by Levi. I'm like,
what a
goaltending.
save.
shot
Save.
it into the
I
glove.
love
It didn't
Yes.
move.
Yeah, he didn't move. Here you
It
go.
didn't move.
There he was playing catch with Devin Levi. But I think I'll kind of stick with
Did you
my
mention
original
both
point.
Backlund breakaways, Dean? 'Cause
Well, okay, yeah. Got to take the C off of him. He's not looked right since
I
there
was
it is.
saying last night,
Too much
if
pressure.
he scored
So
at
much
like
pressure.
a 30% clip on those, like everyone's opinion of Michael Backlund would be another chapter higher because I swear he's like 10%.
He's
It
got
just
a little
breaks
bit
your
of
heart.
Matthew Lombardi in him.
He
Very
does have
speedy.
a bit of Lombo,
fat.
for sure.
Great
so
skater.
fast. Yeah, great skater. What did we think of the netminder? Dan Vladar.
I thought he was very average. Looked like a goaltender that hadn't played in a while.
Unspectacular, but I thought as the game went on, he made better and bigger saves. So a solid, maybe.
Way
would be
better,
the
so
high
we can
end.
trade you,
Unspectacular,
please.
the low end.
Yeah, I thought there were some good saves later on.
Yeah.
But certainly it's so easy to say, but it's a power play. It's Tage Thompson who can shoot it. But even Rudy on the broadcast, like, oh, and here's Thompson, goes top shelf. Oh, actually, no, it's kind of right in the middle of the net.
Yeah. He was sliding left and it seemed to lose where he was. This kind of looked like Levi on that 160 footer from Uyghur. It's just like, where are you and what are you doing? Like It looked like his knee buckled or something. I'm like, that's not a goalie move. You don't operate like that. That is not a movement you want to make while attempting a save.
Not really.
Close to being injury.
But aside from that, and a floater that he couldn't see,
the wrister from Eric Johnson, man Eric Johnson.
Like, I thought Buffalo was so bad last night. If the Flames would stop giving them the pucks and taking dumb penalties and got a couple more saves, like this could have been very lopsided. And
okay, so we're on the same page then. So it's me and you against JP Dumont then.
Well, but again, they were sloppy. They took dumb penalties all night, and their goaltender wasn't that good. So they really had a lot of boxes they had to still check before it was going to be a dominant performance. Like I'm playing both sides here, but you see what I'm saying?
It's not right. The Flame, it's another one of those wins where you're not at your best. You make mistakes, and you still find a way to win.
Would they have lost that one last year, or is Buffalo not quite? I feel like this time last year, all of the vibes were good too. I think they were 3-0 or 3-0.
The Sabres don't look intimidating. I'll tell you that.
No, they need another D-man, and they gotta. Did they just re-sign Poso on a new deal, Red, or is that still the old deal?
Yes.
What are they doing with that? That is so
it's
dumb.
the same as what it would be like bringing Luch back. Good guy. We got to bring him back. Well, can he serve a purpose?
Did they really just sign him again?
Just signed him last spring.
After they finally got out from under that one. The same offseason that was Louis Eriksson, Andrew
not
Ladd,
$1 million.
Franz Nielsen, all those guys that aren't in the league anymore.
Oh, boy.
$2 million plus, I think.
2 years?
2.3. And I'm like, why would you do that?
You know why? Because he likes Buffalo.
Frig off.
So do I.
You know who likes Buffalo? The Rochester Americans' best player.
This is the whole thing. You got to have guys that want to be there. Remember, there was a story last year, Okposo and Tuck and all these guys. They want to be there, and
then bring him in a league minimum. If he wants to be there, you don't have to pay him 2.3.
Where's he going to get more?
Honestly,
that he's still playing is kind of stunning.
Where's he going to get more?
Again, didn't he break his neck or something?
Huh?
Didn't he break his neck or have a fractured spine neck or something a couple years ago?
What?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just stunned that he's still playing, let alone getting $2 million a year. Is that Kevin Adams?
I think that was recent. I think there was 6 guys that summer that got $30 million. It was the Eriksson deal, Luch, I believe.
Yeah, Ladd and all those guys.
Ladd, Okposo, Franz Nielsen, and one other that I'm forgetting. And it's
to your point, they finally got out.
What the hell?
They finally got out from under that one.
Well,
and then sign him again.
I'm sorry, this is very Buffalo-y conversation.
Well, they played Buffalo last night. It's going to work well today. Don't worry.
What? When are they handing the reins over to the kids? Because it's a roster full of young talent. When do they get to take control of things? We got to keep Okposo around to slow him down.
Is it Cousins? Let's see next.
I'd give it to Cousins, but
Darlene. Isn't he the captain already?
I thought it's Okposo. Wasn't he wearing the C last night?
Okposo's the captain.
Yeah, I just mean it's kind of.
Regardless, that's going to be the Sabres' problem. Is going to be they did what the Flames did last year, and they got Zimgus Girgensons and Kyle Okposo playing on the fourth line, and they can't keep up.
God, and he's still living too. Hey,
yes,
that was the Flames draft slot. They traded down from 13 or 14 to Buffalo to get a later first and a second. They go Jankowski Seeloff, and it was Girgensons that the Sabres took with the high pick.
Right. That's a career. Time to.
Can we go back in time and see if the Flames got 2 of the best 10 players in the draft, like they suggested?
You just said they need a defenseman.
Rhett, get this deal done. You just had lunch with Connie 2 days ago.
Deal done. Can I get across the table here? Get it signed off on, or what do I got to do?
You were in the building last night. You had access to both GMs. How did you not finesse this deal?
Tell us. Let's meet at Spot Coffee. Get your mocha.
Hoover's Dairy Farm. You name dropper.
Sit down here and hash this out. You both need it to happen. Let's go. You know what? You don't want Markstrom? Fine. Take Vladar. Take Vladar.
Right. Yeah.
Puka.
Puka Lekanen. That's right.
That's two for deal. It could work. If you added a goalie and a D-man, I definitely feel better about Buffalo, who are now 1-3 with the feel-good season last year. I'm not saying they're dead, but Detroit looks like, and Ottawa look like the teams that are going to threaten those big four in the Atlantic, not Buffalo right now.
Flames back at it. They are in Columbus tonight to take on the Blue Jackets. We'll get to that as the show continues.
Works out better for me if they actually shit the bed, because maybe I can get a coaching job.
Right.
What's in it for Rhett?
What's in it for Rhett is what it comes back to. Time for a visit with one of our insiders on the Insider Hotline, presented by TELUS. Enter to win one of 6 monthly prizes, including tickets to Calgary hockey games and awesome tech like AirPods, Apple Watches, and more. No purchase necessary. All you have to do is fill out a quick survey to enter. For your chance to win, visit TELUS.com/Flames contest. On the Insider Hotline, a true legend, TSN insider Darren Dreger joins us here on the program. Hello, Dregs. Look at Dregs. He's looking great, pal. Good to see you.
Dialed in. Let's go.
For us.
Look at that, eh? I've got the backdrop, this professional set, home studio behind me.
Yeah.
You guys, you're going to have to work on your backdrop game there a little bit. I can't see all of it, but I'm seeing some of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go one by one, Jack. Let's go through here, because I think we're skinny here. We should show everyone. Okay, so this is our studio in Martel Loop.
Brag about our backdrop.
Right, okay.
I'm out.
Okay.
Your
That's
fridge.
pretty solid. I like that.
Crown.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's see what else we got. There's Dean in his
It's
home.
a little lonely. Yeah, it's a little lonely.
Yeah.
I am looking at something new. I'm looking at like a shelving type of a setup. Maybe this weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. So,
And then
You're
Rhett's
kind of a
weapon
handy
is-
guy, right, Boomer?
I really am. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Rhett's
there's
an interior designer.
I'm living in
This
a
is-
dorm. I've got kicked out of my house. I'm back into the dorm.
he's got milk crates and cinder blocks holding everything up over there.
Homemade
Yeah.
shirts. And
It's a work
Hey,
in
listen.
progress, boys. Looks good.
That we need to work to keep up to Dregs is not a shock. That's everybody trying to keep
Okay.
up with Dregs. Hey, Matt, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you doing this. Looking forward to visiting on Fridays.
Yeah,
I
my
guess
pleasure.
just in a roundabout way, we were talking about the Sabres Flames game last night, and we can get into that. But just from from long distance, what are your thoughts on the Calgary Flames? We know what happened last year, huge disappointment, coaching change, GM change, and all of that. They come into this season. I guess if you were asked coffee shop, hey, what do you think of the Flames? How would you characterize that?
Well, that there's tremendous upside, and there has to be bounce back, right? And then you break it down to individuals. We did the regional Leafs game last night as they lost that one in Florida, but we had the Calgary game up. And I saw Jonathan Huberdeau kind of hobbling towards the bench at one point, and I'm like, oh no, because when you talk about the individuals, it's pretty obvious you start there. And he doesn't maybe have to go back to the production that he had with Florida, but he's got to be a lot better than he was last year. So you settle somewhere in between on a point per game. If he can do that, great. Then Calgary's in good shape. The other obvious is the goaltending. Which Markstrom are you going to end up with this year? And if it's the guy that not that long ago was actually in a Vezina conversation, then again, you're in pretty good shape. So the pieces are there. I put the talent level of the Calgary Flames in a grouping with some of the contending teams, and not just playoff contending teams. I'm talking about contending teams. But they've got to prove that that's where they belong. Individually, the pieces are there, but let's see how they kind of put them all together moving forward.
The Huberdeau one is it's so hard to wrap around, because I know he missed some games last year. He's in that 82 games played now as a Flame. And I think if you were going to ask Flames fans, what is he? I still don't think we really know. He's so far away from being that star/elite player that he was he just looks like one of 12 forwards, or what he just looks like one of the guys out there.
And that's fair. It is. But now we can, and you guys, I'm sure, have dismissed the excuses long ago. But specific to Jonathan Huberdeau, we're over it, right? Like, it's not about coaching anymore. It's not about, the attitude, the environment, the atmosphere of the room or around the organization, the dark cloud that hangs over that. No, that's all gone. So, he's got to be one of the leaders, and I think that he will be. But, again, Toronto played Florida last night, excuse me, And I watched Barkov, and Barkov is I always hate using the term two-way forwards. I mean, shouldn't you be that anyway? But I'm going to use it in this case. And he's noted as being exactly that, one of the better all-around forwards in the game. But he looks like, and he's looked like this for a while, like he's lacking something. And maybe that something was being augmented, propped up, by Huberdeau on a night in and night out basis when they played together. So much talent in those two guys. They're surrounded by immense talent. But when you're paid the way they're paid, it comes down to that, doesn't it? You've got to find a way to deliver. I think Huberdeau is going to have a good year. I do. It's too early to suggest otherwise. But if we're wondering 15 games in, then it becomes a bigger story, and a story that Jonathan Huberdeau probably isn't going to want to talk about on a regular basis.
How do you see them tackling the remaining free agents? Toffoli got moved. Backlund's re-signed.
Yeah.
You still have Hanifin, Tannen, Zadorov, theoretically Shillington, and of course the big one, Elias Lindholm. What are you hearing or thinking on those fronts?
Yeah, I mean, all of them are going to be a challenge to a degree. If you start with Lindholm, he needs to come to the realization that he wants to be in Calgary for extended period of time. And that if he doesn't, that's not an indictment on him. We see that every single year in a variety of teams around the National Hockey League. Pierre-Luc Dubois is in Winnipeg if he wants to stay in Winnipeg. He didn't. You know what? Hey, those guys, they earned the right to free agency. How they approach any negotiation, they're entitled to that. It just feels like it's the slow play because he's trying to figure out what this team is going to look like both now and in the future. And so that's going to drag on. It feels like that one is going to drag on. And, that's a big piece. Noah Hanifin, these are big pieces. And you got to end up getting to the end of the line with those guys, if you're Craig Conroy, before you can start digging in on some of the others. Salary cap's going up roughly $4.5 million next year, unless this attendance issue that seems to be plaguing certain cities takes a bigger bite moving forward. But teams will spend $4.5 in a blink of an eye. That $4.5 is going to get chewed up in a hurry. So for me, it starts with those two big names, and then they work around the rest of the field.
It feels like that's what happened with Backlund too, right? He kind of had that, you sit down, where do I want to be? Is the grass greener? Am I happy here? Yeah, I'm going to be a Flame. I'm going to stay.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of with you. The longer that this rolls on, and you can't take everything that guys say in the media as gospel, but I've never really gotten the sense from Elias Lindholm that this is really where he wants to be. This is very much business, it feels like, for him. And that's fine, but it does feel very businesslike.
100% businesslike. And your assessment of the Backlund scenario is perfect. JP Barry represents Backlund. He went into that discussion with management of the Calgary Flames. He said, look, he's made the determination because of his family primarily, but the changes that you've made in your front office, the group that he sees, he believes that he can win here and he wants to sign long-term. And they got it done like that because the Flames also gave fair evaluation to what they see in Michael Backlund and what he brings as a leader to that team. But I'm going to repeat myself. I never throw players who are in the final year of their contract under the bus. Not one time, because I'm not living in their shoes. I'm not. And it feels sometimes like it's an indictment on the team. So if Lindholm decides towards the end of the season, well, it'll be before that. It'll be late February, early March with a trade deadline looming, that he's not interested in signing an extension. Okay. He has his reasons. He's entitled to his reasons. So get after it. But Calgary can't afford to see a piece like that just walk out for free.
How much do you think that Gaudreau leaving and Tkachuk leaving, and again, two different scenarios on how they left and two different results. Gaudreau goes to Columbus, it's terrible, and Tkachuk goes to Florida, and you can't get better.
Right.
You got to think that has playing in his mind as well.
So that impacted two current general managers. Pretty obvious. Craig Conroy spoke of it openly when he took over the reins of Brad Treliving. And Brad Treliving was the guy that went through it all. He grinded on both Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk. Probably less so Tkachuk because it did feel like the two were intertwined, right? So if Johnny Hockey decides that, no, okay, the money is there, I'm going to stay, Matthew Tkachuk maybe says, okay, well, that's enough. I'll pit in here. Maybe not. I mean, if Matthew answers that honestly, then maybe his version of what happens is different. But Conroy is not going to let that happen again. These teams are just too fragile to let core pieces like that walk into free agency and not get anything back in return. And I think that's why, we have to continue to watch the William Nylander situation with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tree is going to continue to bust away at that. He's going to call Louis Gross as often as he needs to say, hey, we've got 8 years. You're not getting 8 years from anyone else. You can't. How are you recouping that $9.75, $10 million? And if by around the trade deadline he doesn't get that answer, then absolutely I believe Nylander has to be in play, just based on that experience with Gaudreau and with Matthew Tkachuk.
What are you thinking about the breaking of the mold we saw with Austin Matthews, which was a short-term high money deal? Is that a solution in any of these parts? I don't know that for Lindholm at his age it makes sense, but wouldn't William Nylander love to jump back into a $100 million cap in 3 years in theory? Yeah,
in theory, yes. But he also might feel like he's kind of been twisting in the wind long enough. That pushing away from $76, $77, $78 million and lifetime financial security is too much to pass up. And is there a guarantee if he signs a 4-year extension that he's going to be as impactful a player as he is today? And there's obviously no guarantee of that. Go back to Matthews coming out of his entry-level deal. And I remember having a conversation with Treliving, who was GM of the Flames at the time, and several NHL GMs who were furious with Kyle Dubas that they caved and gave Austin Matthews that 5-year contract, because it kind of turned the salary cap world upside down. You're not supposed to do that with your stars or your superstars. You're supposed to try and lock them down for as long as you can so that you get as fair a deal, as reasonable an AAV as you can possibly get. And Matthews had the hammer and just said, no, I'm not going to do that. Here's what I'm comfortable doing. And I guess Dubas at the time felt like, all right, well, we should have a pretty good read on where this team is, and we should be a Stanley Cup contender by the time we get to the end of that run. Well, they're at the end of the run now. This is year 5 of that extension, and he's got 4 more tucked away at a big dollar, top in the league dollar that kicks in next season. But yeah, you'd like to think the Leafs are a Stanley Cup contender, but we don't know that they're a Stanley Cup contender. So I think in Willie's case, because Toronto gave Matthews what they did, because they signed Marner for what they did, Morgan Riley, Tavares is a real tough one at $11 million on the cap. I think unfortunately it's timing for Nylander, whereby the only way they can make it work, I think, to get that AAV to upwards of 9.75 is to do it over a front-loaded, bonus-driven, 8-year maximum salary. So I don't think he's going to have that opportunity.
Goalie market, just thinking Tampa Bay and LA, those are 2 teams that have serious aspirations to contend for the Cup, and both of them have shown some warts early, certainly with Vasilevsky's injury shorter term, and LA rolling with like $3 million for 3 goalies.
Yeah, and the market is an interesting one, isn't it? Because you've got some experience out there, bona fide number ones. No, not really, but guys who have proven that they can be effective puck stoppers. I was surprised, frankly, that Marty Jones cleared waivers. Just given the history, I was shocked when I went through the history of Marty Jones. You know how many contracts this guy has signed in his NHL career? Rhett might know. It's like 7, to the tune of $51 million and change. For Marty Jones. And he's essentially playing, well, he's in the minors now, but he's playing at an NHL league minimum salary. So I was surprised that he snuck through and Tampa Bay didn't grab him. Still some teams with 3 goalies. What's going on with the Montreal Canadiens? They've got Jake Allen, who has a proven resume. They've got Montembeault, who I think they'd like, to grab the reins and prove that, he can be a consistent number one. And then they've got Caden Primo, who many believe if, they put him on waivers to clear to get down to Laval in the American Hockey League, he wouldn't clear. So they're carrying 3 goalies. So maybe Kent Hughes is waiting for a team like Tampa Bay or another team to step up, and one of those guys gets in play.
The time is good. The Oilers go into Philadelphia and get soundly beaten last night. And I listen, I get it. This is not Calgary taking a run at Edmonton, but it is with so many eyeballs on the Oilers and expectations so high. They lose those first 2 to Vancouver and then they bounce back. But then they weren't close to beating Philadelphia last night. Is it nerves? Is it handling the expectations, or what do you see early in Edmonton?
Yeah, I mean, the growing pains for sure. And, most of us, I don't know, you guys, I handled your prognosticating. I just threw the Canadian passport on the table and thought that it might be Toronto and Edmonton would win. And then you see Vegas roll out of the gate with 5 straight wins, right? And didn't get the respect as the defending Stanley Cup champion. So, maybe some of that is rubbing off on the Edmonton Oilers. But, again, I watched that game as closely as I could last night, and they've got some serious flaws. Evan Bouchard was no good in that game. And, they had this vision of Bouchard and Darnell Nurse pairing up to start the year. And if that could work, man, that would free up Matthias Ekholm to slide into another group, maybe play with Broberg. And then you've got Cody Ceci in your third pairing. I mean, it didn't last for seconds, let alone periods or games. And it maybe started because Ekholm was hurt right out of the gate. But they've got to figure out defensively where they're at. That has to get straightened out. We know it's easy to put question marks beside their goaltending in Campbell and Stu Skinner, but it's somewhat unfair. I mean, that first game where they got absolutely pummeled by the Vancouver Canucks, each goalie gave up 4, but it was a porous team defense that hung those goaltenders out to dry. And then you go to the head of the snake, which is obviously Connor McDavid, and you see him cough that puck up on the power play last night that comes all the way back and turns into a shorthanded goal, and you're going, okay, well, hold on a minute here. This isn't just about the depth not showing up or the defense not being good enough or the goaltending being average to slightly below average. This is about everyone on this team not doing what they're paid to do. And part of it for me, and I see it in Toronto a little bit too, is that when you get into tough games, I think that the human nature of the teammates of Draisaitl and McDavid is to, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. Yeah, I know it's 2-0. Flyers shouldn't be beating us by 2 goals, but Connor's going to bail us out. Leon's going to find a way to bail us out. So they're going to have to get over that. I mean, normally Jay Woodcroft is a fairly polished dude, right? Like he's got the fancy suits. You see that pinstripe he had on last night? Like that's a bold look. That's a bold. John Tortorella they should switch. Torts is now wearing the hoodies or whatever he's wearing on the bench. See, Jay should adopt that and give the pinstripes back to Torts because I think he could get away with it. But he's dropping F-bombs for heaven's sake in the post game. So what I know is, they've been sketchy for 4 games out of the gate, but they're going to find it. They're just too good a team to worry about.
Yeah, and what's funny is that all this happens when Jay Woodcroft's singular message was one day at a time. Like these expectations, we can't solve them until the end of the year anyway. We have to go one day at a time. And so to see him dropping enough sharp and it feels tight already. And Connor brought everyone back 2 weeks before everyone else started captain skates. I mean, it feels like an odd start. Now, that said, no one's going to remember what happened in October if they're playing in the conference final, but it just, for all the things we're hearing out of there, the results don't match at all.
Yeah, man. But I bought it. I had Brass and Edmonton telling me, hey, I've never seen Connor and Leon more motivated. They lose 2 years ago to the Colorado Avalanche. They weren't ready to win. So that was a learning lesson for them. But to lose to Vegas, that one really stung because they thought they should have won that series and maybe gone on to win the Stanley Cup. All right. Well, I'm looking at the defending Stanley Cup champions, and they had a bit of a clunker against Winnipeg, but they still win that game 5-3, right? Jeez. So, teams with some level of winning experience just find a way to, polish the turd, as they say. And, Edmonton just just hasn't been able to do that. But I look at again, I'm repeating myself, but I still have faith. That team is too good to continue to kind of muddy things the way they have.
Before we let you go, I guess just a couple of things. It's so early in the season. We don't see a lot of trades. Connor Garland, it was very early in the season for his name to pop in. And now the Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
How's he feeling? What are his desires? I guess thoughts on either, or what else is maybe happening in the early rumor mill?
Yeah. It's relatively quiet, Boomer, and that's not unusual. I mean, we're so early in the year. You still have teenagers who are up and are likely going back to their varying developmental teams, right? So teams are still evaluating what they have. And so because of that, even though Magic agent Judd Moldaver, excuse me, I wasn't saying that tongue in cheek. I literally had to cough. That's why I drink so much tea, and it doesn't help. But he's got permission to speak to clubs. And the problem is an obvious one, Garland's contract. Vancouver knows they're going to have to retain salary. But even so, you're retaining max. It feels like there's going to need to be an injury or just a flat out miss for a team to step up there, or Vancouver retaining and taking back a bad contract to move Garland. For me, Patty Kane is as captivating story and where he's going to land as there is right now, right? And there's a number of teams that will express interest, of course. How do you fit that contract in? What's that contract going to look like? It starts with Buffalo. Buffalo has been persistent in staying in tune with Pat Brisson, the agent for Patrick Kane. The way Buffalo has started, it looks like they could use an injection and he could help there. The Carolina Hurricanes, I don't know what you guys think, so good, but they still lack a little bit of that offensive pop. So they'll be in that game. And then you look at some of the cap teams. You guys know Tree. I mean, there's no doubt that Toronto's going to kick tires. I don't know how they make that magically work with the salary cap, but they will. I mean, the good news is that Kane is healthy. He's getting real close to a place where he and Pat are going to create a relatively short list of teams that they're going to want to talk to, the coaches, the managers, and find out, how these people feel that he can, help them contend for a Stanley Cup. But obviously he's going to be very selective in where he chooses his next home.
I saw Rhett's eyes perk up there when you mentioned Buffalo. Is that right? Yeah.
I saw that big Bills logo there.
Yeah, he's big Bills guy.
We got to win something eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think.
Our buddy Hubert Carrier says hi.
Oh,
yeah.
Old Hubie.
He's living in Calgary now. He's got his kids and grandkids are here. He's like, oh, did you see Dregs? He's out at the Lake of the Prairies there. Oh yeah, old Dregs. Good to see him. He bought about 50 trucks off of me back in the day. So he says hi. Good to have you on, man. Really appreciate it. Always looking forward to our Friday chats moving forward.
All right, guys. You have a great weekend.
You too. There he is.
Thanks.
Darren Dreger, TSN, one of our insiders here on the Insider Hotline presented by TELUS. In 2022 alone, TELUS, their team members and retirees volunteered 1.4 million hours and gave $125 million back to local communities. The most giving company in the world. Let's make the future friendly. Learn more at TELUS.com/givesback. Good old Dregs.
What do we I'm curious, like the Patrick Kane one is fascinating to me because
isn't it?
He was so dominant when he was good and then he looked so mediocre, but he was hurt. So are we under the assumption that since he's had his hips resurfaced that he's now, vintage Pat Kane that's coming in and fooling defensemen, or is there a chance he might just be a third liner? I don't know. How do you find out?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I was stunned last year obviously it's because he was hurt, but I fully expected him to go to New York and dominate.
Totally, because they got all the skill, right?
Yeah, and he likes to put on a show.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
And I don't know if Buffalo's going to be good enough for it. Like maybe they sort this out, but if what we saw last night's anything like what they're going to do for the next 75 games, that's not good enough.
Yeah, and listen, every team can use Patrick Kane if he's playing well, right? Clearly, it's not a wild statement. I just wonder if the problem in Buffalo isn't their offense; it's the other end.
Right.
So it's kind of
and that's not Patty's strength.
No. So, sure, great piece to add, but if your goaltender plays the way he played last night, you have no chance of winning.
Well, and he's not showing up there. Like he's going to make his decision in November or December, it sounds like, and that's just speculation at this point. But if they're 8 games behind a playoff spot at that point. Like, he's not going to Buffalo as much as that'd be fun. Maybe he'll go there next offseason, but he wants to go find a contender to play on. That is step one, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was going to say. What does he want to do? Because if he goes to Buffalo, it's almost more about him going home than playing for a contender, right? Like that would be.
Yeah, the story for in his mind would be, I'm going to go home and try and help this team get to where they've never been. So,
yeah. So if you want to win, maybe you take $1 million and go to Vegas or something like that. I don't know.
But you also have to believe that Patrick Kane's got enough clout to walk in and say, well, if I'm going to come here, how are we?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What else are you doing?
Spice this up.
Right? Like, and I'm just talking specifically with Buffalo.
Yeah.
What else are you doing, Kevin Adams? Because when I look at your team, sure, I could come here and play and be happy to play at home, but I want to win.
Go get Hannafin and Markstrom, like Rhett said. That's what.
If you'd listen to the Warner guy, he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
These are the moves you're going to have to make. Then I come and we win a cup in Buffalo.
But if you listen to the names, Dino, that Dreger's throwing out there, it isn't necessarily the shiniest places. It's all contenders plus his hometown. Like Buffalo's the hometown. Florida, Toronto, Carolina would all be in the top 5 to 7 for Stanley Cup odds, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think it's a contender, and after that, fit.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a lot too. How do you try and pick a contender or try and pick the odds-on favorite? Tough to do sometimes.
Easier in November than August, but yeah, it's still really hard. Do we know which goalie's going to play 9:30 goaltending in June yet? Because that's the team I'd pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and is he playing in the East Coast? Like, where was Hill last year?
Seriously, they got Hill for a 4th rounder from San Jose last year. It was a journeyman number 3. Like, it's wild. And now it's like, oh yeah, 4.5 a year, number 1 goalie, looks great.
Yeah, who didn't see it coming? Yeah, it was clear as day.
Seriously.
Coming up next week, we're going to have all the details for you. We want you to jump in and play Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool. If you like doing fantasy and you like getting into your drafts and your office pools, you're going to like this one. It resets every week, every day. It's another piece of the action with Wendy's. You come in, round 1, Monday, round 2, Tuesday. You get a little streak going, and you could be a winner by the weekend. They got maybe you're winning a bunch of burgers. Maybe you're winning some poutine. Maybe you're winning some baked potatoes or chili or Frosties. Ooh. I had a Frosty a couple weeks ago.
Frosty.
Man, so good.
Between the Frosty and the malt at the Saddle Dome, I don't know that there's 2 more disrespected and undervalued ice cream assets. Like just sensational.
Well, there's no disrespect here for the Frosty. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good.
It's high on the board. Maybe you try out the new Wendy's barbecue bacon cheeseburger. Maybe you have it delivered to your door. Maybe you grab it at the restaurant. Either way, this is about the pool. It's starting next week. We'll have the details. We'll have the links for you, and you can sign up for the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool. We'll be getting involved as well. Can we win?
Can't wait. We'll pretend what do you mean? Who works for Nation? What? Huh? Oh no, I'll collect that prize. Which nearest location? Good, done.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do the Pinder Report, a presentation of Village Honda. We had a Flames game last night. We have a game tonight. We had football last night. We've got our point spread picks coming up. But time for the Pinder Report, a presentation of Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall, villagehonda.com, new in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures with the good folks at Village Honda, where new vehicle pricing is MSRP every day. It's the Pinder Report.
Mr. Sexy Ryan Pinder, MSRP. There, I like the Friday.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh, so good, so good. Or Major Slob. That would
Major.
work.
I was going to say, man, the RP works. Yeah,
lot of options. Hey, we could tell you about last night's game, but shit, we did a whole show on it. Here's Rhett and I from last night's Afterburner. There's Coronado high slot. Fake shot, and that's a nice finish from Coleman.
Boy's got some hockey IQ.
He really does. They took him off power play 1 and put him on power play 2, and I think it had more to do with what position he was on each power play unit rather than a demotion. They got to find a way to get his shot used more. He's a great playmaker. He's also, you can see him in the puck battles. He's not coming out with 51% of them. It's a little less than that, and that's part of being a rookie. But you love the early returns. You're 4 games in. He's got a goal and an assist. And I think a lot of people already sort of view him as the best pure shooter on the team, even if it's getting it off is more of a challenge than maybe some of the vets.
Let's let him shoot then. Let's get him the puck.
Shoot the puck, would you? Just let him shoot the damn puck.
I might need
Coronado's first helper last night, Dino, and a beauty, high slot. Everyone's thinking, oh yeah, he's a shooter. He's going to shoot that. No, on a tee for Coleman, gaping cage, third goal of the game for the Flames.
IQ retro, like you say.
I should have cleaned my screen or my camera lens last night. It looks
some butter on there again.
Yeah, I got some
schmeg.
Some Crisco on your lens. 11 minutes for Coronado last night.
Like a little more than that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, could bump him up just a little bit.
No, last night was kind of special teams fest. That didn't help.
True.
And
but he should be part of that, shouldn't he? Right? Mm.
Well, they moved him to second unit, so it's less of that. But yes, he's not penalty killing.
No.
I think.
Yeah, but
and we also liked that fourth line last night, Dino.
Yeah, Sharon Govich.
Heavy exhale there.
Don't know what he is. Don't know.
We've done two Hungry for Mores, and they've both been Yegor.
They've both been, yeah.
Because I'm like, what is he? And I think the Flames are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's not even to pick on him.
No, it's the opposite. He's intriguing.
There's nobody more than him that wants him to do well. The team would love for him to do well. I don't know. It's not. I don't know if he's trying to do too much. I think he's clearly a guy that wants to get it going. Gets an assist on the goal last night. It's starting to come around. There again, is he a fourth liner? Should he be higher in the lineup? He hasn't deserved more minutes or a higher responsibility or a spot that he has right now. But yeah, I mean, you get a goal from your fourth line, you're happy, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, he had two wraparound plays that led to good chances. One goes in. I like him shorthanded. He looks good because he can move and get in the way. Off the
maybe it's because he doesn't have a nickname yet.
We need one. Is it Go-Go? Is it Yegor? What are we doing?
Go-Go.
Govich, go. I don't know. We need something, Rat.
Pinder.
Sharon.
And if you're going to be a go-go,
what are we doing?
if you're going to be a go-go, don't you think that it should be kind of...
Should be dancing.
Like you should be going all the time. Like, man, that guy doesn't stop.
He was going last night.
All right.
Dean was not won over by the fourth line last night.
They were fine. Honestly, I don't want to pick on the guy. I like Dewar and I like Greer. He's just, you know what? If he scores in that wraparound, you probably feel different. I don't know how the puck didn't go in. And it's not about what you gave up to get him or anything like that. It's just looking at his body of work. He's a guy that's had success in the NHL with some skill guys. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Too early.
And look, I think he was second or third in scoring chance creation last night. So that's a good sign. And is it about moving him onto a wing on another line? Or is it like, hey, these three guys are working together. Who cares what number the line is? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll find out tonight. Speaking of tonight, Columbus Blue Jackets, they got some news. Elvis is in the building tonight. Merzlikins will start for the home side. And Zach Werenski, who missed all or most of last season, Dino, back tonight against the Flames. It sounds like, not full confirmation, but a hope that he'll be back. And the coach was saying, yeah, we think we'll get him back tonight.
Well, you know what it was? Didn't he took that, he had the thigh contusion from our old buddy Garnet Hathaway.
Garney.
Came back. I think it was game one, took a knee right into the old Charlie.
Yeah.
And went down. So him returning now, I think, is definitely good news and ahead of schedule because they feared the worst there, I think, for him.
Yeah, and he had just gotten back from missing, as you said, if not all, most of last season, which I don't think we talk about the missing pieces in Columbus enough. They had a bunch of injuries. That Alex Texier is back, the Frenchman that plays center. They really liked him.
I don't know. I think we talk just the right amount of Columbus Blue Jackets.
Well, it is a game day against Columbus, so I think we've hit our quota. We're good now. Not just the Flames in action tonight. Pike bomb. It's a Flames professional hockey doubleheader as the Heat will be in Abbotsford tonight.
Of course they will. It's where they live.
8 p.m. The Heats down the hall.
Yep.
Wranglers and Canucks at the old Ryan Walter Memorial Arena. What do they call it?
Jesus.
Abbotsford Entertainment Center.
It's not dead.
It's a joke. No, of course not. No, it's very vibrant, alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beauty.
Kind of like Rat.
He fired me. We'll move along.
Can you tell us about how did that transpire?
Well, it was a sinking ship, and everyone just was standing in line waiting to get fired. And after 2 years, it was my turn.
More details. So you're the play-by-play voice of the
Year one, it was just play-by-play. Year two, they wanted me to do media relations and on communication stuff, which I was already kind of doing. I was like, well, I'm going to be gone 2 weeks at a time every 2 weeks. Like, half the month. Is that really what is going to work? I don't
because
think
you're
it's gonna
traveling with the
work.
team. That's what you mean?
Yeah.
doing
And
play-by-
it's like
yeah.
the shortest road trip we'd have is 5 days. You'd leave on a Wednesday, be back Sunday. And it's like, that's the shortest one we had all year. And you're gone for 10 to 12 days, a lot. And it was like, why don't you stick with the original plan, which was have someone here that can talk with the local media, being here. And then, there's obviously, you're young, you make a few mistakes and they got to cut budget and
Shitty attitude.
we all learn, man. I don't know. I thought I did a great job there. People like me. The dude that had to fire me was all emotional and started crying. I'm like, holy shit, this is weird, man.
God, look at this.
Yeah.
Hard.
Anyway, that sort of landed me on a morning show in Calgary. So bad luck for you, Dino.
Every time I say goodbye to you, I get emotional.
It's true. You're crying the opposite way. Tears of joy, baby. Let's go to the NHL last night. Leo Carlsson tucks his first. I think the top 3 picks of all no scored. Fantilli.
Yes.
Carlsson.
Number 3. He's 18 years old. He's just a pup.
His first game, too. He missed a few with, I think, a preseason injury. But this kid's that was maybe one of the offensive highlights of the night. One of the defensive, well, you're not going to beat this. This is an early save of the year candidate from not Aiden Hill. His backup, Calgary product Logan Thompson, I think. He's great.
What a save by Logan Thompson. A bunch here. The flurry in front. Look at the traffic. There's the first save.
Oh.
Gets the paddle down.
Isn't that a
twice.
paddle?
Ooh.
Extends the pad.
That's some good stuff. Look
Oh.
at that. Retro. Wow. And then
Jay,
doesn't allow the
Jay,
centering pass out there.
Jets.
Could you do that one, Red? Are you making that
No.
save?
I don't know that Logan Thompson could do any of this until he got to Vegas. He's got that good winning gold sparkle on him. That's their backup goalie, guys. And a night they weren't good, they win by 2 in Winnipeg. Jesus.
Jeez.
They're on a heater. 5-0 to start. And there's a little buzz coming out of Russia. I think we should call him KHL Tage or Russian Tage, Rhett. This is a 6'7" forward in the KHL. Let's have a little look-see.
Тому мы
Let's
привыкли. Но ведь просто вот очередной раз накрыли, отобрали шайбу. Силаев. Гол. 6-1.
Да, просто это невероятный кураж и праздник хоккея сегодня у «Торпедо».
Да, жалко, вторая команда не приехала.
Yeah, Torpedo really laying the boots to Dynamo Moscow. Hey, Rhett.
Nikolai Volkov should have had that one.
2006 года рождения.
Да, но и кистевой бросок.
Excited
Посмотрите,
about
без подготовки
Siliev.
практически, как он.
Look at the size of this monster. You see him in the celebration? Guys are coming up to his armpits. This is Tage. This is
So-
Russian Tage, vodka Tage. What do we call him?
He scored on a goal he should have scored on to make it 6-1.
And he's 6'7", and
And
you're
he's
going to see him
tall.
at the top of the draft. So he's coming to Buffalo when they have another top 5 pick.
Don't
Get
be
ready to-
poopy, Retro. Don't be poopy.
He's overblown, just like all the number ones.
Ryan's put together a collection of stories for us.
That wasn't a great one, but it's in there somehow. Here's Major League Baseball tonight's game. We've edited out the series score, so no one
Thank
gets
you.
too hot. 3:07 afternooner, Astros Rangers, and then tonight 6:07 Phillies D-backs. What are we got the series we were asking for in Texas. We're all square. Home teams 0-4. You're right, Dean. I totally agree. We'll move along. NFL action last night. Jaguars and the Saints. Saints were down 7 late and threw a touchdown pass. They didn't catch the touchdown pass. Oh, dear. There's Carr. There's Foster Morrow. It hit him right in the hands, Rhett.
Fingers. You gotta
Foster.
hate it.
get those fingers out of the way.
Now, you're a tight end, but that's still about as bad as a
Boy.
end zone
Look at the
drop
guy
as you'll
beside him.
see.
Oh.
So Alvin Kamara. Oh, yeah, the staffer just hates it. Oh, dear. How could you? Alvin Kamara walked off the field with him, was consoling him. Morrow was on the bench, head hanging, feeling low.
He was diagnosed with cancer, and it's a sad story. You feel for
And
him.
so Kamara was supporting him. And then post-game, while looking like Little Red Riding Hood, had this to say about Morrow. This outfit is unbelievable, by the way.
Man, he a pro. Foster is a pro. Obviously, I did. It's going to be bigger plays. It's going to be more plays out there. And I just told him, man, he blessed from what he been through. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not nothing, man. I ain't worried about Foster not making that play. Honestly, I don't feel like we should be in that position right there where we looking at that and we like, oh, man, he should have caught it. Man, of course he should have caught it. He know he should have caught it. Anybody in that position right there should have caught it. We pros. But, man, Foster, man, no, if there's anybody out there that cares, that's uplifting his teammates, that's doing everything he can to try to get a win and try to uplift everybody else to get them in the right mind frame to win, man, it's him. So, man, I'm not worried about that. It is what it is. We going on to the next. It's a loss. It is what it is. We'll take it.
It's a good teammate right there.
What a teammate.
You know what? What's the do? Could I pull that off? I need one of those little handkerchief over the head things. No?
You know what? If we were doing it today, that would be our Crown Royal generous guy.
I think
that's
you're
a good guy right there.
No kidding.
I would hand a tumbler of Crown Royal over to that guy right there. Hell of a teammate.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara catching the ball because Derek Carr can't throw it more than 15 feet. So, I think another pile of receptions. Yeah, I see you. Let's go to more on last night's win. We should have seen coming for the Jags. Where was this stat?
Call me
8-0 Doug Peterson on Thursday nights now. No one else is more than 5-0. No one's gone more than 5 games without losing. Doug Peterson, the former Philly coach and now in Jacksonville, perfect on Thursday nights. Let's tuck that in the back pocket for the next time we see the Jags on Thursday. How do we not see this data yesterday? Let's see. You saw it. Thanks for sharing. Jahan Dotson's been a disappointment for my neutered dad fantasy football team. Look what they got him doing, Dean, and because he's going to turn it around. Look what they're doing in practice with Jahan Dotson.
Oh no!
Second-year receiver, star in the make. Now, why don't you just hold for the kicks, son?
That's going to be a morale boost for him.
It's time to drop him from neutered dad. I think we got a bit of a turnover happening here. 1-5. It's going to be the greatest comeback in fantasy history.
Year last year.
It's wild because it's Curtis Samuel. It's guys you never heard of getting the ball. Terry McLaurin, obviously a good player, but like there's 4 or 5 receivers that are getting more looks at him, and he's on the field all the time. He's just not open. I don't know. Not good.
Well, his quarterback isn't great either.
But they're in all these game scripts where they're hauling the ball down the field because they're down by 2 touchdowns. Like everyone else is catching them. It's crazy. Calgary FC in action tomorrow. It's the semifinal against Pacific at Atco Field at Spruce Meadows. They win. They go to Hamilton to play Stinkin' Forge. They lose. Their season is over. It's a big one. 2 o'clock kickoff and some news yesterday. Marco Carducci. Nominated for Keeper of the Year.
So dreamy.
Shoveler will be all excited.
Hey,
talk about Foster Moreau overcoming some health issues. So Marco, of course, very public conversation about his battle with testicular cancer that he come back from, and what a stud. He's still amongst the best in the league, nominated for Keeper of the Year. Good luck tomorrow, fellas. Make it a good one.
Just in good shape. Looks good. Very swarthy and sweaty.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Swarthy? Can I look swarthy? How do I look swarthy?
You need some sun. Yeah.
The sun gives you swarthy?
Here
I think
comes
so.
the sun.
Darker tones in your skin, less pasty. Yeah. That's my impression, at least. I could be wrong. Stampeders in action tonight, Dino. It's a big one. They got the BC Lions in BC.
Come on, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Dave loves BC. He was always good in the Dome.
Well, I played there too, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Could he pull Mayer, and just go in himself? I feel like couldn't be huge.
Well, you know.
Roster, what's the rules on that? Either way, win and they're in, I believe, is where we're at with this team. Am I right, Dino? They control their own fate here.
This is the Pinder Report.
Win and get a Saskatchewan loss. Let's do it, fellas. Let's go.
Let's go.
LFG. Finally, unprompted, we keep talking about kangaroos. And unprompted, we got more kangaroo information.
Really?
Well, I mean, who else could it be?
Oh my
goodness. Rightio, these fucking marsupials, they're fucking raining havoc. Oliwa, he'd get his fucking candy ass fuck. Check out this motherfucker. Look at the talons in these cunts, boys. Absolute fucking massive cunts. Massive nuts, big motherfuckers. You ain't coming down fucking Broad Street not fucking around with these cunts, boys. Now you keep fucking punching, Boom. I better fucking cry. Oliwa, he'd get his fucking candy ass fucking punched up and down the fucking street, kicked in the fucking face, no chance. Prime time, Oliwa. Now, Oliwa, I wouldn't even give fucking Mike Tyson a fucking show against these cunts. Righto, Boom. You keep fucking punching, boys.
Nice. It's just, man, it's so great.
So we always see him at night in the man cave, usually after he's twisted one and hammered a few stubbies. But this was broad daylight Aussie Brad. We hadn't seen that before, so he must have been driving and seen some roadkill. That's why they got those big rhubards.
It is 100% official. Aussie Brad is bang on. Don't F with the marsupial.
That's right. He said primetime Oliwa, primetime Mike Tyson. It doesn't matter. These guys got big nuts. Don't bleep with them.
And those claws.
Oh, the fangs.
Those talons.
Talons.
Jesus. Nice of you know what? He does more prep for this show than any of us. He's driving down the road, sees a dead friggin' kangaroo in the side of the road, wheels over, gets out, does a little content. This guy's our MVP.
He's like, oh fuck, I gotta get this for them.
I gotta stop.
Calgary.
Friggin' flies.
To the Pinder Report, mate.
Generous.
He's a generous guy. Crown Royal. I pour one.
Can you get Crown down in Oz?
I was wondering the same.
If not,
he's earned a bottle. All the contributions he's made over the
one.
last 13 months on this show.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Crown everything.
That's your Pinder Report. Can't top that.
Can't top that. You can't top that. Village Honda. Huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets. 70, 75 on site. Don't see what you're looking for. Or maybe you just want, I like the model. I'm not sure about the option. Over 400 more inside the dealership group make Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They're worth the trip. Village Honda located in the Northwest Auto Mall.
They have those bars on the front of the vehicles there, so if you hit the kangaroo, doesn't
kangaroo puncher
end your life.
What were you saying there, Retro?
I went to the MC Hammer concert.
Come on, where and when?
Saskatoon.
Oh,
early 90s. It's deadly.
He was
wouldn't have had Saskatoon on the MC Hammer tour bingo card.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. Is he still living?
Oh yeah, he's doing commercial stuff. He's back on his feet after losing $33 million.
How did he lose that much money?
I think he's just signed.
Gold bathtubs.
I mean, Mike Tyson lost that with another 0 on it, probably. So
yeah, Mike got mixed up with the wrong people.
I would suggest MC Hammer did as well.
Mike probably got to take advantage of his whole life, I believe.
Yeah, poor
Mike. I would say the same for MC Hammer. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. What is the date today? The 20th? Right on.
It's 10/20.
It is crazy how close we are to the outdoor game coming up in Edmonton. That's like right away.
Days.
If you started walking, you'd get there just
not with my gout. I'd never get there.
What if we got you travel insurance? Would you walk that?
You know what? I'd get hit on the side of the road, and then you'd be pulling over to take video of me with flies buzzing around my exposed intestines.
Look at this.
Jeez, what is that? Is that a hippo? That got it? Oh, it's Boom. Boom
How did that thing get out of the zoo?
Jesus, what is that thing? Nice. But either way, with the big outdoor game coming up, Alberta Blue Cross, they are all about celebrating life's memorable moments inspired by hockey. It's a nice little road trip. For a lot of the people here in Calgary, going to be heading up there. I believe that now you can't really. It's sold out, is it not? Or
I had heard the tickets are available.
Yeah,
the guy I was with last night's going.
The what?
I was with the guy in Calgary last night in one of the suites.
Oh, I see.
You missed us on Afterburner. You ran into a Calgarian. What did you say that tonight?
A Regeer Flames jersey and a
chirping.
Kachuk. They're high-fiving me. It's awesome.
Is that right?
They're going. They'll be there.
Do they call you a traitor for wearing the Sabres golf tee?
I played for the team. How am I a traitor? Come on.
Oh,
paint me.
Rat was saying that it's going to be a tough spot when the Sabres and Flames make it to the Stanley Cup final together, and you'd have to lean Buffalo because they hadn't won a championship yet.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's how you'd have
Bills
to
win. Go Flames.
There you go.
But we've known you to be able to navigate both sides.
I would
do jersey, Sabres jersey.
This is what I will say. I will find my way into one of the parties. Winning team, I will be. Yeah. I'm going to be part of the party.
Yeah. With Alberta Blue Cross, you think about memorable moments. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more. Wherever travel takes you, visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. Alberta Blue Cross, celebrating life's memorable moments inspired by hockey. And I've told you guys this story before, but it was a while ago. Went on like a men's beer league trip over to Europe. This thing was if you ever get a chance, and I should probably find the guy, because it was just like clockwork. He would just kind of throw it out there. If you want to go, I've got teams lined up. We got hotels. We got all this. So we flew into Helsinki. I think, flew to Helsinki, played a game there, got on a bus, went to Tampere.
Yes.
Played a game there. There's like an underground rink. All that was above ground was just like a elevator shaft kind of a thing. So you get about 4 or 5 guys with hockey bags in, down, thing would come up. So it took a while for everybody to get downstairs, but they had 2 hollowed out arenas with electric Zambonis. They had like the power cord hooked to the top of the Zamboni as they did that. Then got on a ship, a cruise liner, overnight to Stockholm. Played at the Globen or whatever, the big
famous arena there.
Yeah. And then came home. It was a hell of a time. Hell of a time.
Coincidentally, have an acquaintance in Stockholm right now, suggested the most attractive people in the world do live in Stockholm. Was that the case when you were there?
Yes. 110%.
The analogy this person put forth was our 10s are their 7s. So I don't know how the boomer math works on that, but it's impressive stuff, apparently.
We showed up there, and the whole thing was, you're going to be tired. Don't go to bed right away. It's going to be mid-afternoon. Stay up as late as you can, then go to sleep, have a good one, and get into the thing. So we get there, everybody's groggy, and let's go get a bite to eat. We'll go out, have something to eat, and then we'll pack it in. And we're at this little club, and then all of a sudden, these girls walk in wearing like toga, like the bed sheets and a toga.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, hey, where are you guys? Oh, yeah. So we're chatting them up. What's going on tonight? Oh, we're just having a fundraiser party at the bar down the street for our nursing class or whatever.
The boom cat did not have to worry about going to bed early.
Would you guys like to buy tickets?
Yep.
Well, we want to support the cause, right? Let's do what we can. Fellas.
And wait, so you were the only guys in the whole country that didn't look like their cousins, their dads, and their brothers? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, it's weird. Some of those guys, they're really strange. Because we go to this thing, and yes, it's Finnish nurses. And there's guys there that are local. They're dancing with each other, doing their weird kind of it's like what's it, Hans and Franz doing some weird dancing on the dance floor with themselves. It's like, well, if you guys want to go dance, we'll hang over here with the chicks. Yeah. It's a hell of a time. That's my hockey memory for today.
Yeah, it sounded like you played well.
Hell of a memory. Alberta Blue Cross, celebrating life's memorable moments inspired by hockey. I think it fits, right?
Absolutely. Memories, man.
Memories.
You were on that world tour for the lockout, Rhett. Did you get up that far north? Stockholm?
Yes.
Helsinki?
Not Helsinki. We're in Stockholm, though, for sure.
And the findings of other researchers would line up with yours as well?
Who am I to argue with the experts?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, we played in the, I forget what the Hartwall Arena, where the Jokerit. That was the Jokerit home.
Joker logo.
So they had all it's like there's Jari Kurri and Teemu Solani, all the Finnish guys. That was pre-Kipper, or I'm sure he's there now. But cool place in the world, Retro.
Yep.
That little next year.
Huh?
Thinking about going there next year.
We got to start covering the World Championships, that hocus pocus event, and pretend we care so we can go to all these amazing places.
Good idea, Pinder, actually.
Where was it this year? Like Prague? Where did they play this year? With Toffoli
Riga co-hosted with somebody? Riga and...
Yeah, Latvia, wasn't it?
It was a co-host, I think. Yeah.
But yeah,
they only go to cool places in Europe. It's awesome.
It's a unique thing for sure.
Yeah, they're not going to Russia till they clean up their act. So yeah, let's do it, buddies.
You want to do some Betway? Want to do some points?
It's picks of the week.
Week 7 in the National Football League. As we get to our point spread picks. Now, Pinder, how are you feeling about this? You were going to either put in a lot more effort or no effort whatsoever as we do our picks. For Betway, get the Betway app on your phone, play along, be responsible, bet the responsible way with Betway. Were you 0 for 3 last week? Is that what it was?
I'm 0 for last 7 because I lost a Monday night 3 weeks ago, went 0-3 the week before this one, and then I just went 0-3. It's brutal. It's an absolute shit show. And so I either do the exact same process and pick opposite George, or I just got to revamp the strategy here. So I'm revamping the strategy. If I go 0-3 this week, we're going full opposite George, like full commitment on my picks and then actually going the other way. Here we
Walk
go.
us with your record of 4-11 on the line.
Yes.
Walk us through your picks.
Use your spend your and wager your money carefully, folks. Bet the responsible way. Go the opposite way of Pinder on Betway. I like Detroit getting 3 points. I think they've looked really sound. I know there's some questions of what's going to happen at running back, but that's a good football team in Baltimore getting a field goal. I think they can keep it close, if not win this thing. Buffalo, much better than New England. Sorry, Rhett, I'm cursing your pick here.
Yeah.
8.5's not a small number, but the Patriots have been blown out by like 20 plus a few times in the last month. The Bills offense can do that to you. Miami, Philly, this is an interesting one. Miami hasn't beaten a good team, but they've blown the doors off 500 or worse teams all season long. Here's a good team. I don't mind Miami getting points with that dynamic offense. That, my 3 picks of the week. Miami plus 2.5, Detroit plus 3, and Buffalo minus 8.5.
Why are you so upset?
You're not allowed to take Buffalo, any of you, unless I don't.
That's not how gambling works.
Well, didn't we take Buffalo last week and they didn't cover? So
yeah, because you cursed
we were shittered ananyway. So
go ahead.
Carry on.
All right.
I'll look out the window.
All right. Whoever. Do you want to do Rhett's picks next, or we'll do my picks? Here's my picks.
Oh, weird.
Really like the Buffalo Bills on the road in New England.
Yeah, great.
One of the worst Patriot teams
Detroit
that we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
This is Josh Allen and Diggs. Man, they are just gonna old Jimmy Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhett, it would be a huge disaster if somehow the Bills didn't cover this 8.5. I think they're much better than New England.
Well,
Rhett.
Allen's dinged up.
Yeah. I'll take the Bills minus 8.5. I'm with you. I like Detroit getting some points in Baltimore. And I've got Cleveland minus 3 at Indy. We know that Richardson is out.
Good last week.
It's going to be the Gardner Minshew mania, Minshew magic.
3 turnovers last week, 4. It was ugly.
Yeah. And I mean, for Cleveland, it's not going to be Watson, I don't think. But I still think
that's throwing a practice yesterday.
Yeah.
They were showing videos of it. It could be Watson. And if it is, and the defense plays like they did against San Francisco last week, I like that.
And I think if Watson is confirmed to start, that number is inflated north of a field goal. So I'll take the minus 3 for Cleveland on the road. Yep. Those are my picks of the week.
Jacko? Wacko Jacko?
Jack, Brett.
Oh, sorry.
Jack.
Brett hasn't gone yet. Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Brett.
Let's go,
Well,
Brett.
I'm switching them because you guys have copied them. So I'll go with the Giants. Now I got to look at other games.
No, you can still take Detroit and Buffalo.
Jack attack. Don't talk, Ryan. Don't talk. Please. Don't talk. There's no way I'm copycatting you two idiots. Look at my record. Look at yours. No way. Jack attack. Are you taking the Steelers?
Yes.
Attaboy, Jack.
Oh, boy.
I'll do mine while you look for some more.
Yeah, throw yours up, Jack, because, yeah.
All right, boys. So we're back.
Oh, we're back.
I hate it. The leash is short as hell. But we got Deontay Johnson coming back. I just saw that Freiermuth isn't playing. That's kind of a meh. I feel awful about this game, but I got to ride with the boys.
Coming off a bye.
Going into LA. Don't love it, but we got to do it. Leach short as hell here. If the Steelers stink, I'm off them again.
Yeah, you've already sworn off them once. This is quite something. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Jack's Pittsburgh soap opera. It's just really ramping up right now.
And then I'm with you guys. Detroit plus 3. Detroit's looked really, really good lately, and I think Baltimore, is hit or miss. Steelers beat them. And then the Toilet Bowl, Vegas and Chicago. Chicago's starting some kid named Bagnet. Looks like Hoyer's going to start for Vegas. I think a big game for Josh Jacobs here on the road. Vegas minus 2.5.
That is an ugly game.
Yeah.
All right. I'll stick with my Giants pick. Washington at the Giants. And then I'm going to go with the Cardinals of Arizona in Seattle. Plus 7.5.
I like that pick, Rhett.
Thank you, Dean. Maybe
They're
I should change
feisty.
it.
They're feisty. They fight hard. Those cards.
Don't compliment his picks. He'll change them, and he's going to have 8 picks on the
And-
board. And no matter what happens, he's going to claim 3-0.
Well, that's what I'm
My
trying to do.
boy Kelsey and his girl Swift. Another victory for the Chiefs, giving up 5.5 at home. Versus
They
The
got the
Chiefs are
Chargers.
giving up 5.5.
Yeah, they play the Chargers. They're laying 5.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Chiefs minus 5.5. Arizona plus 7.5. And the Giants, you had it, Jack, is it 2.5 there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Reds
Yes.
picks.
So
Giants
now,
plus.
for those of you keeping score at home, Red has made 5 picks. His original 3 and has thrown 2 more in.
I like
So-
the Steelers too, Jack.
Oh, and 6.
Oh, 6.
6.
And if
Yeah.
he was allowed to bet on Mondays, I'm sure he'd have a feel on that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That
Did you
Philly,
see? Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No.
Philly, Miami Sunday nighter. I know you guys will be doing Afterburner, but you can also watch that.
Got TV right here.
Yeah. Did you see Travis Kelce? He's dating Taylor Swift. They need a little bit more
that right?
privacy. Yeah. Needs a little
Oh,
bit more
wow.
privacy. Went and bought a new house for $6 million.
Also, just a little temporary spot.
Yeah, went and bought a new place because the place he was in not quite enough safety and privacy.
Security, yeah.
Just $6 million.
Wasn't enough mirrors in the bedroom, so you gotta get a new
And I
place.
feel like $6 million will buy you quite a shack in Kansas City.
I was gonna
I
say
just-
that's
just
more
think-
impressive in Kansas City than you'd probably think.
Because you
Well,
could
let's-
probably spend $6 million on a place in Beverly Hills or
That's not
whatever.
much, no. 1,000 square feet apartment.
But it's decent. So life seems to be going okay for Travis Kelce. Betway, get the Betway app. Get ready. We got games. There's hockey games, playoff baseball. You can play along with your point spread picks on football over the course of the weekend. Either way, bet the responsible way with Betway and get that Betway app on your phone.
I have a question for you, Dean.
Mm.
It is the Flames, former Flame, playing the Flames on a Flames game day, but it is Johnny Gaudreau as a star player you kind of expect to score. Are we on the Johnny Gaudreau goal watch or not? Because we knew and we called it with Matthew Phillips plus 450. We're already up $550 on the former Flames score on the Flames this season. We're keeping running tally. Are we in on Johnny Hockey scoring against the Flames tonight? Because it's not same, if you know what I mean. It's usually the who-dats and the nobodies that score. It might be Goodbranson.
Didn't Johnny have a penalty shot last year in that game in Columbus?
It was a
seem to
pathetic
recall
performance that I
something.
drank bleach after. I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say for sure. That's why why go against what's working?
The Johnny Gaudreau anytime goal scorer on Betway plus 240. We'll add that to the tally of former
Sure.
Flames score against the Flames, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of the year.
5.85 will get you a 4-bed, 4.5 bath, 8,366 square foot home.
80. So a complex,
Yeah, it's a
On a
compound.
1.5 acre lot.
right?
Just an acre and a half.
Yeah. You got to
It
show
looks
us.
okay.
Yeah.
It looks okay.
For 5.
That's in Kansas City, Red?
5.5. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
I'll
looks
take
good.
it. On a little bit of a pond. I wouldn't call it a
that's
lake.
nice.
Slough?
Could you put some trout in there? Would you stock it with some trout?
Oh, you got it.
Bass.
Some bass. This weekend, right till the end of the month. It was in September, and now we're kind of getting into the last couple chances for you to get to Century Downs Racetrack and Casino and take in some live thoroughbred horse racing every Saturday and Sunday, 12:45 p.m. So just have to get there early, right? Have some lunch, grab a drink or two, grab the card, go through so race 3, race 5, race 7, kind of do your homework there. Throw some shekels down and have yourself a heck of a time at Century Downs Racetrack and Casino. It's free to get in. All ages are welcome. Watch, wager, eat, and drink with your friends with entertainment you won't find anywhere else. If you've never been to the track and enjoyed thoroughbred racing, then make it part of your weekend. Why wouldn't you? Century Downs Racetrack and Casino.
Looking at the program here, race 4.
Mhm.
There's a horse called Boomer's Calves. Are we in or out? 15-1.
Ooh.
Wow.
If it was
It's a win
Boomer's
or it's an
toe,
injury.
I'd stay away.
Boomer's toe's actually been scratched. He's been
Yeah.
pulled from his race.
Yeah. The calves are kind of consistent. The toe,
That's right. Toe is a
You
big
never know.
issue.
yeah.
How is your walking?
It's the worst.
Now
this is not what he needs, Rhett. He already doesn't want to leave or put on pants when it's -10. Oh,
how? But you were out last night.
I'm aware. Hobbling around like a idiot. You know what it is? I'm that guy. I need one of those friggin' motorized carts to get around. Christ almighty.
A little basket at the front.
What about the Paul Blart Mall Cop guy?
But you got to stand up. That's the segue. I need to sit down.
Okay.
Have they made the sit down Segway yet, or is that just a golf cart?
Would the Segway be better than walking?
I don't know, because I'm gonna have to keep weight off, and it's all about weight distribution. I'm gonna crash
That's
the
true.
trick.
That's true. If you're leaning forward, you're toast.
And I need my right leg, because if I don't have that, because I can't put any weight on the left. No, I need Grandma. I need Gladys's motorized cart.
Can we call you Grandpa? Is that too disrespectful?
It's not good. It's not good. The last 2 years of my life, no good.
What about the 2 before?
The last 4 years of my life, not good.
But what about the 2 before that?
The last 6 years of my life have been no good.
So it's due for a change.
That's right.
You're
due for a regression to the mean.
Yes. Can't continue.
We're not laughing at your gout. We're laughing about your gout.
I'm not laughing at the gout.
Gout's a horrible thing, Dean. Beat that. You beat the gout down.
Thank goodness for DoorDash. At least I won't starve because I can get food delivered to my door.
That's right.
I don't know how I'm getting to the door to get it,
Someone
but
will get it for you.
That's the nice thing about DoorDash. You get the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and those items will be left safely outside your door with the default contactless delivery setting. They're doing their part. DoorDash is getting it to my door. They can't do any more than that.
Yeah, they can't eat it for you. They can't walk into your home. They just leave it at the front.
They really can't. For a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and earn 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code NATION25, NATION25. Don't forget to do it. Don't forget to do it, or there will be no savings for you, but it's worth it. So get in there and put NATION25 into the code. What's on the menu for DoorDash? Pinder, what do we got tonight? What are you seeing? What do you
It's got to be Flames. Johnny Gaudreau revenge match. I don't know who's seeking revenge. I know it's not a dinner party tonight. Daryl hated it last year when they went to Columbus and lost in a sloppy, lackluster effort. 5 o'clock start. Flames are favored at -145. And it's also Eric Branson as well, the former.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. Well, Daryl was mad.
Elias Lindholm as well. So there you go.
Okay. Because Daryl was mad because they all went over the night before to visit the baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Some of these guys here were visiting pals. We weren't here to get 2 points. Something like that, right?
But the thing is, they couldn't have last night because they were playing hockey. So they weren't over frolicking and carousing with Johnny.
And they got to hustle to get to Detroit. You don't want to miss Detroit on a Saturday.
Yeah.
For their Sunday game.
So they're in good shape.
It's a short flight, though. They could have been there by 10:30.
Figure? Yeah, I don't know.
Last night? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, hard to say. The DoorDash app. Find it. Go to the App Store. It's easy to find. DoorDash and get your 25% off. 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more.
Love that.
Offer valid in Canada. Subject to change. Terms apply. The promo code again, NATION25. The number 2, the number 5, NATION25. And get yourself some savings. Do it today with DoorDash. Dash
I'm pumping
that
it in right
for
now.
the win.
I'm dashing it right now.
Are you dashing it?
Yeah, I'm putting a code in.
Attaboy.
We're gaming the system here. We're allowed to do this. Let's find out.
What's that light that's flashing
Where?
on the screen? It's twice it's happened. Or am I starting to twitch out a little?
Yeah, you're having a stroke.
You doing mushrooms?
Seizures.
What's going on over there?
Yeah. Yeah, seizures. What's Jack got going on
We
there?
got 2 producer Jacks going. That's what the flashing light is.
What's going on, Jack? Are you
Captain Jack, what's up?
sending us Morse code or what's going on?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Jackie.
Well, we
chill.
can now, yeah.
My internet just shit out, so I got RJ in here. I got 2 of me in here. It's...
So, Jack, we need you better.
Jackie Chills, come on.
Jackie
Come on, we need you
Chills.
Monday. We
Are
need
you
here
on the
Monday.
mend? Like, are you on the upward trend yet?
I am on the upward trend.
Good.
You don't sound like it.
You
sound like shit.
Upward trend.
I feel great. I'm gonna take the Steelers unless they lose, and then I'm off them again.
Obviously, I'm very excited.
Poor Jack. Jack's got the COVID. How long? So how long do you have to? Because I kind of forget. Are you housebound? When can you go back into general population?
I don't know. How does that work these days, right?
Well, you should find out. You should do.
I would definitely find that out before you show up at our studio here, friend.
I don't. Yeah.
Just no mouth kissing with the girlfriend for a while here. I know you're trying to wait for marriage, but just a few more weeks here. Let's go.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? My internet shit out.
I feel great. I'm on the up and up.
What's on the weekend there, Retro? What do you got planned?
Quiet weekend.
Is that right, eh?
Very quiet. Might go out for supper.
Oh. Fancy?
Might Greek ribs, I believe.
You in the shovelerino, as you say?
No, side piece. Definitely
different
piece tonight.
Okay.
Sweeper and the shovel.
Ribs. I don't know. It's a bit wet and rainy. Thought about a football game. Football's big down here, boys.
Is that right? High
What
school?
about like a chicken pot pie or like one of those the potatoes and the beef and the stew. Oh,
Shepherds.
Chefs.
Yeah. Bad weather. You got to get into this winter food, Red. Let's go.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Don't do.
You got to get into.
Come on, man. You got to get going here.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Now, what about you, Pin Dog?
We got the big Sunday afternoon
Dog.
matinee boom. We got.
That's right. We got a 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. And then Warner and I will be doing some after
On Sunday.
for you.
Detroit. What is down in the desert playing tennis with their girlfriends. They're sending photos out. They got some like 6'6".
Did the yoga
stud
instructor
muffin
from
Ukrainian
Italy come over and?
No, they got some European tennis pro over there. Dude's
That's
no
good.
sleeves, muscles all over, great tan. Might be 25.
Really trying to climb the rankings.
There's about 6 girls. There's drool hanging out of their mouths. Yeah, I'm sure a tennis lesson. Good stuff. Have fun. See you Sunday when you're back.
You know what? What's he got that you haven't got?
Haircut.
I mean, the muscles, the tan, 6'6". Everything basically. He doesn't have the twins. I got the twins. We got lots of hockey.
There you
hockey
go,
today,
see?
hockey tomorrow, first game of the year, hockey
Yeah.
Sunday, power skating Sunday.
How's your ice? Your shift legs? Are they dialed in? You got those kids?
It's our first game of the year, so we have no clue. Practice has been crisp. Impressed with the fellas, but it's time we play.
We're 40 games in down here.
I know, yeah.
Come on,
It's the
Canada.
States. It's crazy. We've had like 7 practices. We're finally playing a game. And
Do you
evaluations
have
took
to
3.5
go
weeks.
Do you go pre-dressed too? You got.
I got tracksuit.
Well, did you hear that? Because now the kids with the hockey, you can't go and change at the rink. You got to have your base layer on before you go to the rink.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know that I'm enforcing that necessarily, but
Well, you better not announce that publicly. Someone will pull your
know.
coaching certificate.
That's right.
I just haven't been paying attention. I don't even know. I'm so busy tying my skates, right?
Send out an email.
He's not enforcing the new rules about the base layer, and he's high on mushrooms.
That's after the game. I'm a fun
all the
guy,
time.
man. Fun
You are
guy.
a fun guy. Have a great weekend, everybody. We're back Monday. Retro and I will do Afterburner. What do we got? A Kerr? We got a Kerr one tonight?
Kerr tonight.
Rob
Is it
Kerr?
Kerboom? Is it Gout and Kerr together, or what
It's
do we
not
got?
Kerboom. It's Kersey for sure. With Afterburner following the 5 o'clock start against Columbus. This got to be a win, right?
If it's not a win, there's little trouble in Big China. Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah, that's the movie.
See, we got to
you
go
need a
back
win
watch some of those shows so we remember them.
Yeah, that is an old comedy. I want to watch that. Shirley, you can't be serious. Don't call me Shirley. Was it
Naked Gun? Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one on the plane too? That's the one.
Airplane.
Yes, that's the one.
Goodbye.
What's the Groundhog Day?
Done.
See you Monday.
On the
Bye, buddies.